This dirt block is special because today I'm gonna trade this block for $1 million. Then use that money to get to at least $20 million, making me one of the richest. All on Donut SMP, one of the most popular Minecraft servers. Also, this video is partially inspired by Tree Gaming's video. But anyway, let's get started. But how would I even be able to get close to 1 million? With just a piece of dirt, a seemingly useless block, until I got an idea. If I started streaming, I'll have plenty of viewers that I can trade the dirt block to. So I went live and started TPing to people. However, since the stream quality is so terrible, instead, I'm mostly gonna be summarizing what happened and only showing a couple clips from the original stream. But if you want to check out the stream, it's still available on my channel. So after I got my dirt block, I decided to TP to someone named Top That Is Cool. But little did I know they had something insane. This guy gave me a netherite helmet and 3 skeleton spawners. And those items together are worth about 1 million. So since we had already reached our goal of 1 million, I decided to keep on trading, see how far I can get. So I started trading with a couple more players. And even though a lot of people were offering me really bad offers, we still kept on trading, trying to see what amount we could get to. But then someone offered me a whole prime crate armor set and a shulker of observers and iron blocks that are worth 3 million. As observers are worth a lot because of the OP farms that are on the server. So I decided to take the deal and also try looking for a better deal until someone offered me this shulker box. At first I debated whether I take the deal, but after deciding with my chat, I actually found out that the shulker was worth about 4 million. But after that deal, someone offered to pay the $4 million for it, which made us pass our goal of 1 million. But it's finally time to use the money that I have to get to 20 million. However, real quick, it's 2025 now, and one of my main goals is to reach 10,000 subscribers. And if you want to say you were here before that, then please subscribe. Anyway, back to the video. But how? How would I use the money that I already have to get to 20 million? An amount that's taking people months to get. But then I thought of something. In my last video, I made myself a raid farm, but for some reason it didn't seem to work. But then I stumbled on YouTube, and I found this other Donut SMP YouTuber that made a video of making a raid farm after I published my last video. So I decided to give it another go. However, there's a problem. In Minecraft's most recent update, they changed how raids work. Instead of killing a pillager captain and getting bad omen normally, you have to now get an ominous bottle from either a trial chambers or a pillager captain. Then you have to wait 30 seconds for the raid bar to appear, and then you have to wait another 30 seconds for the raid to actually start, and then you can finally do the actual raid, which means this whole process will take longer than normal, which will make the farm less effective, but we'll still at least be able to get a little bit of money, so we can afford better money making methods. And we don't have to find a pillager outpost, which is what wasted a lot of our time in the last video, so we could just buy the ominous bottles on the auction, since a lot of people sell them on there. So with an elytra that one of my viewers gave me, I started flying out looking for a village, as we need a villager to start this farm. But because the server has been out for more than a year, a lot of the villages have been looted or just destroyed, so a lot of the villages that I found were all useless. But nevertheless, I kept on flying, and I even found this. Wait, look over here. There's some kind of water system that leads into this ocean that people could have transferred villagers here. There has to be a village here somewhere. Yes, over here, a village. Come on. Are there any villagers here? Bro, come on. No, all the villagers are gone. Now, at this point, I was starting to wonder if it was even possible to find an unlooted village, as every single one I found was raided. But I didn't give up, and then I finally found something. Over here, there's a village. Wait, there's a raid going on. If there's a raid, that means there have to be villagers here. Look, there's a villager right there. Now that we finally found an unraided village, we now have to get all the materials for the farm, and then we have to carefully get the villager down, since there was a raid going on. And then we have to bring the villager to the nearby ocean, since the farm needs to be built in an ocean for it to work. However, since we built this farm like 100 times, I'm not gonna bore you with the building, and instead, do this cool transition. Alright, it's now time to drink this ominous bottle. Now we just gotta wait for the timer to run out, and the raid should start. Alright, let's go up. Alright, here are the ominous ones, so I think the farm works. And they're falling down, let's go. No way, this farm actually works. So after finding out the farm works, I started grinding the raid farm, which consisted of me dropping down, drinking an ominous bottle, and finally going back up and killing the pillagers. And I did this over and over and over again. And after I had enough emeralds, I turned it into blocks and sold it on the auction. And then I decided to do a 1-hour test to see how much I would make. And after the 1 hour, a lot combined with the previous grinding, I got to over 5 million. Yeah, this farm isn't as good as it used to be, but if I had another farm to AFK at, then I can make even more money. However, when I logged on the next day, the farm had been destroyed and all my hard work on the farm was gone. So now I had to find a different money making method. One that would be easy to make, but could also make a lot of money. And after some more digging on YouTube, I found out a kelp farm is the best money making method. One, not only the materials aren't hard to get, but you also don't need any bone meal, unlike farms like sea pickle farms. And you can still AFK at it and get a lot of money depending on how many modules you have. So I decided to fly out and look for a new base location, determined to make this money method work. And I flew for what seemed like hours, because I needed to make this base as far as possible, so my base doesn't get grief like my raid farm. But once I thought I was far enough, I dug down to about -40. However, there's a problem, because in order to make a big enough kelp farm, we need a lot of space, which we could do with the drill, which destroys 9 blocks at once. But because that's too expensive, we're going to use TNT instead. So I went and got the materials for the TNT, and then I started placing the TNT and blowing up all the blocks around me. And after doing this for a really long while, we had this really wide area now. And now that we have this big area, all we gotta do now is just expand downward. And that's what I did. I got all the TNT that I had and started digging holes 4 blocks apart. And then I started placing the TNT and blowing up the whole area. However, since I kept running out of TNT, I had to keep RTPing and mining sand and getting more gunpowder. Many times. But finally, after blowing up all the TNT, I had this even bigger area. Oh my god, this is insane. You don't even know how long this took me to do this. But I still have all these blocks to remove. And I was right, since it's basically impossible to build a farm with all these blocks everywhere. So I went ahead and removed all the blocks by hand, even with all the mobs attacking me. And without a drill and no TNT left, this took up so much time. But after all the hard work, we had this beautiful flat area. So now it was time for the next step of the plan, actually building the farm. But first I had to get some torches and start lighting up the area so all the mobs will be gone. Next I grabbed all the materials that I had, like netherrack, oak leaves, and of course kelp, and started building the modules for the farm. And once I had all the modules, I started making the water collection system that'll bring the kelp all the way to this bubble elevator, and then finally it'll go in the chest where it will be sold. Dang, that was a lot to explain. But now that we had that done, it was time to finally use the farm. So I AFK'd, and I AFK'd, and then I sold the kelp. Alright, yeah, you get the point. I basically did this for many hours, even leaving my computer on while I was asleep. I was trying to do anything to get to 20 million, but after every AFK session, it seemed like I wasn't making any progress, as I was only getting about 100k per AFK session. Yeah, it's gonna be impossible to get to 20 million like this. So I started selling anything I could. I looked in my ender chest to see if there was anything valuable to sell, and I started selling it, like netherite ingots, a mace, and even more stuff. And then I even started AFKing at the AFK area, so I could get skeleton spawners to sell to other people. And all of this, combined with AFKing at the kelp farm, got me to 10 million. But the thing is, this isn't even close to 20 million. And at this point, I felt demotivated, as all my hard work up to this point had only given me 10 million. I really wanted to give up. But I still had one more option, and I was wearing it the whole time. The elytra that someone gave me to help me out with this challenge, and I had held on for all this time. But how would this elytra get me to 20 million? My goal after all this time. You see, I haven't played the server in a couple days, so when I finally logged on and looked on the auction, I saw this. Bro, 30 million? That's right, the elytras are 30 million now. So I started thinking whether I should sell my elytra. If I sell the elytra now, then I'll reach my goal finally. But if I don't, I could save it for more money making methods. Oh, I don't know. All of these thoughts were racing in my head until I finally decided. Alright, let's do it. I decided to sell the elytra, knowing it was well worth it. Bro, I can't believe that all this progress just came from me selling a dirt block. And then after waiting for someone to buy it, it finally sold. Yes, let's go! I finally did it! Oh my god, I finally did it! No way! If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.